May showers continue in Kern County. Kevin Charette has your complete rainy forecast. President Trump defends his administration during a news conference, and stress at work combined with lack of sleep becomes the focus of a serious health risk. This is 17 News at noon. Tehachapi Police and the Kern County District Attorney's Office are investigating after an officer shot and killed a man. Police say officers started chasing 21-year-old Juan Antonio Silas just after 9:30 last night, believing he was armed with a gun. The pursuit ended near the intersection of Red Apple Avenue and Westwood Boulevard when police say Silas appeared to intentionally ram his vehicle into the officer's car. The officer shot him and he died at the scene. The officer was not hurt. Tehachapi Police and the Kern County District Attorney's Office are investigating. The officer has been placed on administrative duties pending the outcome of the investigation. This is the 5th officer-involved shooting in Kern County so far this year, the first for Tehachapi Police. This is also the 31st homicide this year. We track all of these statistics, and you can find them on our website, KGET.com. Just click on the homicide tracker icon. A 64-year-old who died in a fire last month has been identified. Cecilio Ibanez died in a blaze April 27th in the 1800 block of Corrientes Street, according to a coroner's release. The cause and manner of the death are still pending. National news now. President Trump held a hastily called news conference blasting Democratic investigations of his administration. It took place immediately after he cut short an infrastructure meeting at the White House that included Democratic congressional leaders. The fireworks happened shortly after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi this morning accused the president of engaging in a cover-up. Mr. Trump blasted that comment and a session held by House Democrats this morning to discuss their various investigations of the president. The president declared there won't be any infrastructure negotiations until congressional investigations of him end.
So I just wanted to let you know that I walked into the room and I told Senator Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, I want to do infrastructure. I want to do it more than you want to do it. I'd be really good at that. That's what I do. But you know what? You can't do it under these circumstances. So get these phony investigations over with. No, this is very sad. Because this meeting was set up a number of days ago at 11 o'clock. All of a sudden, I hear last night they're going to have a meeting right before this meeting to talk about the I word. The I word. Can you imagine? I don't speak to Russians about campaigns. When I went to Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania, I don't say, oh, let's call Russia. Maybe they can. It's a hoax. The greatest hoax in history.
Just 3 weeks ago, both the president and congressional Democrats agreed that America needs $2 trillion of infrastructure investments. Democrats called today's meeting cancellation a pre-planned ploy and accused the administration of having no plan to pay for infrastructure. Well, back here at home, it's been almost a month since the Catholic Diocese of Fresno placed Monsignor Craig Harrison on leave pending an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct. In an exclusive interview, we're hearing from a member of a Catholic religious order. Brother Justin Gilligan is a Catholic monk. That's his religious name. But he says people in Bakersfield would know him as Ryan Dixon. Brother Justin says the diocese contacted him before it put Harrison on leave. They explained they believed he had important information regarding Harrison. He has since shared what he says he knows with the diocese and law enforcement, and now he's sharing some of that with us. He allowed us to use his picture, but didn't want to go on camera. This is what he says. He says Harrison became a mentor as he studied to become a priest. That's when he became a victim of Harrison's, quote, inappropriate touching, lies, manipulation, and abuse of power. He says, quote, I witnessed him being inappropriate with children, giving gifts, money, saying sexual jokes, touching, and being alone with them, end quote. Brother Justin says he didn't come forward earlier because he felt people wouldn't believe him, but also feels a responsibility to protect children and help clarify the situation. You can read his entire statement on our website, KGET.com. Harrison's attorney, Kyle Humphrey, says everything Brother Justin has said is false. And that, quote, this is an effort to frame and destroy Father Craig as a means to get to the deep pockets of the church. Also breaking this morning, just minutes ago, the Diocese of Fresno confirming to 17 News that Father Raul Diaz, a Catholic priest in Dinuba, known locally for his time on the cross-country team profiled in the film McFarland USA, has now been placed on administrative leave. The diocese says Bishop Joseph Brennan placed Diaz, who's a pastor of St. Catherine Siena in Dinuba, in Tulare County on paid administrative leave, effective as of last Friday. This action follows notification that law enforcement has received a report alleging Father Diaz has engaged in inappropriate behavior that may include inappropriate contact with minors. It's going to be a very busy week, or end of the week, on California roads as people pack up and head out for the Memorial Day weekend. AAA says more than 5 million Californians are planning a trip, and most will be on the roads. This is the 8th consecutive year we've seen growth in holiday travel, but with lots of people on the road, AAA is also gearing up for lots of roadside calls.
Across the nation during the 5-day travel period, AAA anticipates coming to the roadside rescue of 353,000 stranded drivers just during that 5-day period.
AAA says if you're planning a road trip and want to avoid being one of those stranded drivers, make sure you prepare your car by checking things like tire pressure, battery charge, and fluid levels. Meantime, CHP officers will also be on the roads this weekend. A maximum enforcement period is in effect statewide. It starts at 6 p.m. Friday and runs through Monday at midnight. Officers will be on the lookout for traffic violations, most notably people not wearing their seatbelts. The CHP says last year, nearly half of all people killed on Memorial Day weekend weren't restrained. We're just a day and a half now from the biggest graduation ceremony in CSUB history. But tonight, the university will celebrate the first class of doctoral grads at the graduate hooding ceremony. And we want to remind you, we won't be in our studios for 17 News at Sunrise on Friday. We're taking it on the road. We'll be live from CSUB ahead of commencement. If you're a grad and we want to see your decorated grad caps, send us a picture at 17news at KGET.com, and we'll feature those decorated caps on our newscast Friday morning.
Hi, I'm Scott with Aspire. I want to personally thank Kern County for trusting Aspire with being a part of your family's recovery. At Aspire Counseling Services, we take this opportunity very seriously and would be honored for your continued support. Call us today.
Now, your 17 Health Watch. California lawmakers moving to give teens more time to sleep before school. Some say studies show teens are healthier and perform better when they have enough sleep. So yesterday, the state Senate passed a bill preventing high schools from starting classes before 8:30. But opponents of the bill say the mandate will disrupt family schedules and create problems for school districts. In other health news this afternoon, a new study shedding light on the amount of cancers that have been linked to a poor diet. Researchers from Tufts University compared diet data with cancer incidences in 2015. Diet-related factors may have accounted for more than 80,000 new cases, with colorectal cancer having the highest proportion. Low grain intake was the biggest culprit, followed by not enough dairy, fruits, vegetables, and too much processed meat. Cancers of the mouth, pharynx, and larynx were also linked to a poor diet. Fewer middle-aged adults are dying from cancer, but deaths from heart disease are up. That's according to the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control. Researchers tracked death trends among 45 to 64-year-olds over the past 2 decades. They found deaths from cancer dropped by nearly 20% during that time. But after a similar decline, heart disease deaths began to increase in 2011. Both causes of death share many of the same risk factors like obesity, diabetes, and tobacco use. Some good news for diabetics. A cheaper insulin now on the market. Eli Lilly has announced its own generic version of the company's top-selling insulin. It's called Insulin Lispro and is being sold for $137 a vial. A 5-pack of Quick Pens is $265. The company is still selling the name brand product Humalog, which costs about $275 per vial. Eli Lilly says patients who are uninsured, have high deductible health insurance, or have Medicare Part D plans will see the biggest savings. We know that stress and a lack of sleep are both unhealthy, but what if you're stressed out at work and not sleeping at home? It's a situation a lot of people are facing. Dr. Frank McGeorge takes a closer look at just how serious a problem it really is.
Work stress is worse when you have high demands placed on you, but have little control over your circumstances or authority to make decisions. Often that spills over into our home lives, making for sleepless nights. According to a recent study, for people with high blood pressure between 25 and 65 years old who were followed over 18 years, the combination of stress and sleeplessness led to a 3 times higher likelihood of death from a cardiovascular cause. For people who only had one of the two, stress or sleeplessness, the amount of harm was close, but poor sleep was slightly more dangerous, leading to a 1.8-fold higher risk of premature death compared to stress at a 1.6-fold increase. If you feel like you're in any of these groups, here are things you can do to help. Take notes on what's causing your stress and look for patterns that you can either avoid or respond to by taking breaks where you can focus on relaxing. Try to unplug as completely as possible. It can also be helpful to talk with your supervisor about how you can have more autonomy in your job to reduce the stressors that you've identified. Also, establish boundaries between work and home. Avoid constant work intrusions that come through email or digital messages.
The problems related to stress and lack of sleep don't happen overnight. They build up over time, and that's why it's so important to think about your lifestyle and identify if you're at risk and begin to correct the problems as early as possible. Welcome back. Time is perhaps the most precious resource we have, and the way you decide to spend it can have a paramount effect on your life. As PC Mike Wendland reports, tracking your time with an app can help you determine how efficiently you are or aren't using it.
Rescue Time reveals how often and where you use your smartphone or computer, what desktop applications you use the most, how much time you spend on specific websites. Time is categorized by productivity level, so you can see how your device usage affects your attention, work patterns, and goals. It's free for iOS and Android. The app called Timelines is a popular choice for general time management. Use this app to track your time and see where it goes, how much is being wasted. You get charts and an interactive timeline of specific months, weeks, or days. Time is tracked with the simple push of a button, customizable so you can track specific activities. Free for iOS. Geofency does location-based time recording on the iPhone, the iPad, and Apple Watch. Arrival and departure times are automatically recorded as soon as you enter or leave a place. That makes it ideal for automatic monitoring of things like working hours, client visits, lunch breaks, or the stays at your favorite hangouts. It is $2.99 for iOS.
Well, would you like more information about all of this? Not a problem, because I have built in direct links right here, PCMike.com. That's my tech blog. Direct links to everything you just saw. Till next time, I'm PC Mike Wendland for NBC News.
Hi, I'm Scott with Aspire. I want to personally thank Kern County for trusting Aspire with being a part of your family's recovery. At Aspire Counseling Services, we take this opportunity very seriously and would be honored for your continued support. Call us today.